Something you probably didn't know about me. I love popcorn. And I love the movies. Popcorn movies. Welcome back to the Critics, ladies and gentlemen, with Agents of Fandom. I am your host, as always, Isaac Joel, and today we're going to be breaking down Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Christopher McQuarrie has become one of my favorite directors. I don't have the favorite director. That's probably a lie. I think it might be Christopher Nolan. But when it comes tied next, god damn, Christopher McQuarrie, you are killing it. This is what, the sixth installment of Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise teaming up together. They did the Jack Reacher movie. I think they worked on a couple other flicks in between then, Edge of Tomorrow. What was that one? Oblivion. I think he came on and did some writing on that. And he's directed what, like 3 of the best Mission Impossible movies of all time. And he's still kicking around with it. I gotta say, though, one of my gripes with the Mission Impossible franchises, although that I love Christopher McQuarrie, and this whole review is probably gonna be about praising him and his style and his directing, but I have to just kind of put it up there first and foremost so you guys understand my point of view when it comes to the Mission Impossible franchises. I loved how they got different directors to come in and do them and kind of give their own style, their own flair to it. I know it is kind of universally known that the second one is one of the worst movies ever made. When I was 18 years old, I opened up my first studio in Phoenix, and I was kind of homeless at the time, and I had to live there. And so I had nothing but my flat screen TV and this giant warehouse all to myself to watch movies. And one of the movies I popped on the first night was Mission Impossible 3, a movie I had never seen in my life. Never seen any of the movies at the time, and wasn't really interested in that kind of genre. And then I tapped into the third one by J.J. Abrams. That changed my life forever. Went back, bought all the movies, watched them in order. And Brian De Palma, the first one, is my favorite one. The style of that. And Dead Reckoning really, really feels like it is a callback to Brian De Palma. And I really, really respect that. I go crazy over my Dutch angles. I would say this movie uses an excessive amount of Dutch angles. I've never really known the franchise to do that before in the past, and this movie really wants it to be known for that, and it nails it. It really, really does. I have already seen the movie 3 times. That's right. I've seen it 3 times, and I couldn't do a review right away for it. Not because I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it or not. It was just information overload for me. There were aspects of it that I was really, really digging, and then there were things about it that I had my gripes with, and yet I still was coming back time and time again because, listen, Tom Cruise makes movies for the movies. They are built and designed and manufactured for that experience, for you to go and buy your giant bucket of popcorn, your soda, sit down with your friends, your loved ones, and watch that on the biggest screen that you can find with the best speakers you can find. I miss the movies. I miss when films, and I'm not saying that oh, all movies need to be action and spy thriller. No, that's not it at all. It's the experience that it brings. We all know that Oppenheimer is going to bring that intimate level of experience because it's all written in the first person point of view, and you're getting IMAX shot with that, and that's never been done before. That is an experience. I love it when we are able to immerse ourselves into these movies and just have fun with it and just roll the ball with it. And this movie is a lot of fun from the opening to the very last scene. I think this movie is really relevant, strangely, to a lot of things that are happening today. Maybe they already knew that this stuff was kind of like in the works and happening at the time back then. I think they really had to question themselves with the villain. What is something new and different that they haven't done before? And they picked something that I think is a good antagonist, something that Ethan Hunt probably never thought he was going to go up against. He's always going up against nuclear bombs, terrorists, IMF agents going rogue, or having to get the rabbit's foot or save the girl. That's pretty much what everything is kind of surrounding with him. And yeah, this movie has that basic MacGuffin device. They got to find a key and another key, and that key is going to unlock something. It's literally a key that they are after. I wish it was a little bit more complicated than that. My gripes with this movie is that it plays it too damn safe. And that's one of the most enjoyable aspects of it, is that it is classic Mission Impossible. It's got the masks, it's got the big set pieces, it's got him flirting with chicks and then falling in love with him and going on big adventures with him. It's got all the check boxes marked off. That's what my complaint is about the movie, is that it's just kind of playing it safe with that, knowing the formula and playing into that formula. And this is why I wanted a new directors to come in and mess around with the character, because I do think we got to challenge him. I do think we got to really challenge Ethan Hunt and not always make it about a girl that he can't save and that haunts him forever and motivates him until the next mission. I feel like we can really get the friends, the group, against each other. Get them arguing. They're always buddies. They got each other's backs. They're friends. They've been through it all, and they don't ask questions, and they kind of just roll with the ball because they know what's gonna happen and that they can, get through with it. They're sweating. They're nervous as always. But I just thought they really should have challenged emotionally these characters. Ethan Hunt especially. He's losing friends in this movie. He's losing people that he really cared for and loved. And with that should really come some anger, my guy. Ethan Hunt is the best protagonist character of all time. He gets the job done by his ultimate will, his strength, his capability, him wanting, his motives of his objective. The fact that his objective is his ultimate goal, that is what is making him run and jump off mountain cliffs and do the impossible. I love Kittredge as a character. I am so happy that they brought him back. The actor that plays Kittredge, there is something to be said about the way he acts. He is a masterclass actor, and I could only wish that I could learn from him and be like that. The way he emphasizes his words and enunciates his sentences, and it's so deep and jarring, and you never know if he's the bad guy but he's the good guy, and just the way he talks. Each action set piece is phenomenal. For me, the opening with the green smoke blew my freaking mind. That is the clip that keeps me coming back into the theater and probably gonna watch it another 4 or 5 times. When that green smoke disperses and everyone knocks out and the big reveal happens, when I saw it with an audience, they lit up. They lost their mind, because it was such an eeriness going on with the movie. They're playing with it in the first 20 minutes with that sound, how quiet it was, how low key they were playing. The sandstorm fight, there was this loud, like, bong, 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 as the music. And that was just so beautiful to me. I feel like this movie was like, let's do less as more. Less is definitely more in this case. Haley Atwell, Agent Carter, my hat's off. You blend into this world so goddamn perfectly. She is gorgeous in every shot when she turns around and her hair flips and she's staring Ethan Hunt dead in the eyes. Oh my God. I was so engaged with her character. And I love that she's not a super spy and she can't drive a car. She's crashing into everything. She's messing everything up for Ethan. He's usually able to get out of everything in an instant, but because of her and her betrayal and her lack thereof experience, there is something to be said about the woman of the Mission Impossible franchise. One of my gripes is that they keep on introducing these strong, amazing characters, these female characters, and getting rid of them way too soon in replacement of another strong female character. And it always like feels like they're leading to Ethan Hunt falling in love with them and running off. And I don't know, and I don't care, but it seems like they're always building towards him finally finding love within his own world. But then they just write that off in replacement for another. So it's kind of annoying and irritating. But then at the same time, the women in this franchise just kill it. Palm, that plays Mantis from Guardians, I was hearing her talk on a podcast, and I didn't realize that this was a dream role for her. This was when she would go to like the boxing gyms and practice and do all that, and she would literally like write down in her notes like Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, getting like to be on that level. She wanted to be on that level, and she finally got to that level, and she's in that movie now. And so like going back and watching it again and seeing it from now her perspective, it's like congratulations to everyone that booked the gig, because it just seems like a fun time making these movies. And there are these real consequences with it. There are these deep emotional moments with it. The Fast and Furious movies can only wish that they were on the same level as this franchise. I think a lot of franchises wish that they were like this, that they were able to run for 25 plus years and still tell good stories. That's unheard of. That is completely unheard of. So I give this movie 10 out of 10. I really do recommend that you guys go watch this. For me, I watched the last two Mission Impossible movies in theaters, and I just vowed to myself that I would never miss these movies again. Even seeing Top Gun Maverick was phenomenal. The opening scene, and it's really cool when these directors make these movies for the theaters. It's not meant for you to watch it at home. Going forward with Dead Reckoning Part 2, I really want them to up the stakes emotionally. I want it to really hit at home. I don't want bigger and more action set pieces, even though we know that that's going to come. I feel like that just comes naturally. I really want them to spend time with these characters and challenging them and putting them in dire situations that we don't even think that they can really come out of, and maybe they shouldn't come out of those situations. That's what I was kind of looking for in this movie, was Ethan to do something that really he couldn't escape out of. He couldn't figure the answer to. I thought the movie could have ended on that note, leaving Ethan like he lost, because he's always accomplishing the mission. What if for once he didn't? What if for once he lost? And this was the perfect opportunity, I think, to have done that, considering you have a part 1, part 2, and so he could have, succeeded in the next one. So I don't really know where it is that they're going to land their characters next, but I'm excited for it. I know that they plan on doing more in the future, even beyond that. And once that time comes, I hope that they consider getting new directors in here and getting a new vision in there, get some new colors in there. It can really, really continue to stand against the test of time. I'm really curious what it is you guys think about Mission Impossible. Have you seen all the movies? What is your favorite one? Are you going to binge watch all of them before you see Dead Reckoning? I don't really think that you have to. That's one of my favorite things about these movies, is that you could honestly just pop in any one that you want to and have a good ass time with it. As always, I have been your host, Isaac Joel, with the critics at Agents of Fandom, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you for listening.